Hello, Taurus. Welcome to your 2025 summary. We're going to have two parts to this. The first part is your overarching sort of energy, and then the second part is your month by month tarot breakdown. So let's get started right away. Where to begin? You're coming into this year with a new relationship, right? Now, this new relationship, it's on the table as a choice. This is either a brand new relationship as far as love, or it's a brand new relationship with yourself. It could be both, for some of you anyway. We're gonna put this all together. I think we're going to kind of get the answer to that in part one. You do have Tiger Iron, which is very rare, actually. I mean, it's rare to have this card come out. It says, "I am grateful for other people's good fortune. It brings me joy to see other people experiencing happiness." Now, the interesting thing about Tiger's Iron is that it is not tiger's eye, but it does contain tiger's eye. It is affiliated and associated with the actual animal, the tiger. So you might have an affinity towards tigers, or you might have an affinity towards tigers this year, right? It represents endurance, strength, right? Vitality. And it also physiologically, it balances the blood. And what I'm telling everybody with their center stone here is to go out and buy one. I mean, you should buy a small one that you can keep in your pocket. This is probably, in fact, I know it's very, very inexpensive. It's not, and I'm not selling anything, so I'm not trying to push anything on you. But you can get this, and honestly, do not buy it from Temu, Amazon, or any place like that. Go to a local gem shop that really has the real thing. Otherwise, it's going to do absolutely nothing for you. So I do think that this energy will help you throughout the year. It'll help you amplify all the good that might be coming your way. Now, what's interesting about your layout here is that you have chosen the exact same two cards as Aries. And that honestly never happens. Maybe somebody will choose the same card here and there, but not the same two. So you might have an affinity with an Aries. You might have Aries highly aspected in your chart, or you may have something interesting happen during Aries season this year. So you have Mystical Sister. And the Mystical Sister is number 50 in this deck. As you can see, it's like a moth to a flame, right? So there might be something drawing you in here. It's trusting your instinct. It could be a very potent reconnection with someone from your past or something from your past. Again, I'm looking at a reconnection here. And this says new relationship, but I think it's, according to the cards I'm seeing right now, it could be something that was alive in you a long time ago that maybe got squashed from life, from something that happened. It could be a relationship that you were in with someone else that you're getting a second chance with. But you do have here smoke coupling with this card. Now, the smoke card is number 32 in the deck, and it asks us to wake up, right? It could be a message to clear the air with someone that you may have had beef with, someone that you may be carrying a grudge towards. But it is a sort of wake-up call. You may be seeing smoke. You may be seeing fog. You may not be seeing something or someone as clearly as you should. So we'll keep that under our hats here, okay? You have the archetype of Athena. And Athena is obviously the Greek goddess of war. But she's here to help you jump zones, Taurus. And when I say that, I'm talking about your comfort zone. Your comfort zone works for you. It works for you on a certain level, which is why you stick to it. But do you wake up feeling invigorated, happy? Do you make your mind crisply turn the page on a new day? Is there a certain amount of vitality missing that you need to seek out this year that's a little bit out of your comfort zone? Keep that in mind, okay? Now looking at your tarot, it's interesting. You have the Two of Cups, right? Very the two things coming together. Two things coming together. A new relationship blossoms, a new partnership, right? It's Pluto and Scorpio. Excuse me. It's Venus and Cancer energy. It's unity, partnership, joining forces, balancing something. Puzzle pieces fitting together. This could be an old version of yourself coming back around, right? This could be an old relationship coming back round. Interesting. This is really interesting. You have the Five of Cups. Now, this is the Pluto and Scorpio I was talking about. And the Five of Cups, let me see if you can see it. I know these cards are kind of dark. Do you see how, you've probably seen this card before where you see the man focused on loss, and right behind him, there's two cups that he's not seeing, right? So something is gone, but ironically, the two cups we talked about here is directly behind you, Taurus. It's directly behind you. Turn around. Turn around and see it. I think you're going to be surprised that something comes together this year that you either haven't thought about in a long time or you gave up on, something like that, okay? Now, moving on here, you have the pets card. And it says getting a new pet, giving a current pet more love. So if you have pets, you could expect a more solid, deepening relationship with them. I know a lot of people have pets. And the depth of their relationship, it just seems, I don't know. I have an extremely deep relationship with my pets. And when I see people that have this surface level relationship, I scratch my head. Maybe it's me. Maybe maybe my relationship is too deep. Who knows? I don't know. You can expect a deepening of a relationship with current pets, or you can expect an adoption of a brand new pet. But pets are on the table as somehow important, right? You have this card, which represents glow up. So physically, you're going to look and feel better than you have in a very long time. You may be coming into the year feeling good, but by the end of 2025, you're going to look even better. Here you have Haikoa, the sorceress of light. When this energy overarches your time, it's the Hawaiian patron of sorcery, right? Protection, empowerment. You're going through an initiation of sorts in 2025, and your job is to simply stay happy and not slip into doubt. If you're that type of person that doubts things, that takes things apart, that has served you. But I think this year, you are supposed to approach this year with childlike wonder. Don't shoot the messenger, okay, Taurus? You do have reflect. And this is kind of, it's really good. It goes with the rest of the cards here, right? It's a card of obvious reflection, right? But it's also sort of assessing the old, asking yourself what situations you find yourself in as a repeating pattern. And then when you realize what that is, you ask yourself, when was the first time I remember feeling this way? And it's going to be eye-opening. This year will allow you to recognize and release old, worn-out patterns. Nice. You have the solar eclipse here. And the solar eclipse, it says creation, intention, potential. I mean, it's all the things we talked about, right? But what's interesting is that the solar eclipse is on March 29th, 2025. I'm pretty sure, yeah. I mean, we talked about Aries. I said Aries season might hold something special for you, right? So around that time, we feel the effects of the eclipse both before and after. So it's not just that day, right? We have an eclipse that your potential for creation will be at its peak. So look forward to this time here, Taurus. I think that's going to be really good for you. You have third quarter moon. It says breakdown, readjustment, forgiveness. Interesting. It's actually interesting. It fits in with pretty much everything we've been saying here, right? A third quarter moon is a time to let go and release. What did I say? Old patterns, right? It could be let go and release and forgive. You could be holding on to some sort of, I'm not going to say grudge, but not like holding on to non-forgiveness towards a specific human being. It very well could be for some of you, not all of you, okay? But it is a time for release, to unburden, to lighten your load throughout the year, because 1 week after each full moon, we have our third quarter moon. So each month, more or less, you have the ability to do this exercise. Watch the change that occurs as you do this. You lighten your load during this time. Release, forgive, unburden. That's your time. Wow, really nice energy, Taurus. Really nice energy, very hopeful energy. Now, as you're exiting the year, you are safe from harm. You're shielded. You're shielded. When I say harm, it could be actual harm, or it just could be negativity. But as you do the work, and I do think many of you will, because it just looks that way, it's not even like you're shielded from this, force from beyond the grave, or it's not even like that. You're shielded simply because of your own energy. You're leveling up as far as your energy goes. You're taking what worked and you're building upon that and changing it. You're sort of alchemizing that into something new. I'm very excited to do your month by month. Your tarot should be very interesting. So I'm going to shuffle and lay that out for you, and I will see you on the other side. Hello, Taurus. Welcome to part 2. I move this closer. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, let's start with January, okay? It looks like you have well, I'm not going to say, all right? You have, we don't read these in reverse, by the way. You have the Divine Feminine card here for January. And yes, this could represent a woman in your life. This could represent you, male or female, leaning on your Divine Feminine. What does that mean? It means you're leaning on your intuition. You're being more nurturing. You're being the caretaker. You're being that way. All right. It doesn't make you less of a man if you are a man. It just makes you a little bit more intuitive and, caring and all that stuff. Here, you also have the 3 Rings rune, along with the Tower. And as you can tell, the Towers, let me shut my phone off here because that's going to drive me crazy. And it's like nobody will text me. And then as soon as I'm online, as soon as I'm taping like this, I'll have like 4 people that decide that they want to reach out. Okay, so we have the Tower. And in this deck, if you see, let me see if I could break this down. So the Tower in this deck, you can see that something is coming from above. Something is coming to sort of interact with you and make you see something sharply. But as you can see, it's coming from the heavens, straight down the middle of the Tower, all the way down its center, and you see the dove of peace right here. And you also see the sun rising. So now this could represent Scorpio Pluto energy, which makes total sense because of this picture. A lot of people believe this is Mars Aries energy, but this is sudden change, right? At the very least, the most basic level, it is sudden change. Could it be bad? Yes. Could it be needed positive change? Yes. But when it's coming in sideways like this, it is a choice. So you have a choice to make here in January. Now, are you going to go with this change, Taurus, or are you going to resist it? Are you going to use your intuition and allow your Divine Feminine to come out, or are you going to suppress it? These rings, this is the possibility of something new forming with someone else, right? So you have 2 rings and then the thing in the middle, right? So this might be you, someone else, and the love, or you, someone else, and the relationship. But two things are coming together to create a whole new thing. Now, with the Tower coming in sideways, it is a choice, Taurus. Are you going to allow this, or are you going to fight it? I think it's going to be different for all of you, because it wouldn't have come in sideways if that wasn't the case. Now let's move on. We are going to recap everything at the end. So if you get lost, there is that. You have here the Scythe in February, which is more Pluto energy. You have reflections. Like I said, we do not take these in reverse. You have reflections and projections, right? This could be something that you yourself, you might be seeing something in the mirror that's not there. Somebody might be projecting energy onto you that isn't accurate. You have the Hanged One in reverse, right? And if you look at this, it's the Hanged Man, right? This is Pisces energy, but it is in reverse. And what is the Hanged Man, right? You may be resisting the necessary pause it would take for you to come to a different conclusion. I can already tell you a lot of Tauruses aren't going to like this reading. I can already tell you, okay? But yeah, you may be excited, pushing forward. You might have tunnel vision, but with the Hanged Man or the Hanged One would give you a new perspective, a pause for you to come up with a new idea and attain a new perspective, and this is in reverse. It's important. It's important because you also have Pluto energy here, Scorpio, the Scythe. Now, what is it that you should be cutting away? What is it you're trying to cut away? I mean, I could take this two ways, right? I could take this as Spirit trying to tell you to cut away that part of you that pushes forward at any cost. That part of you that pushes forward at any cost, I think we talked about this in your part 1. It has served you. So of course you're going to lean on that. That's a comfort zone for you. What has always worked in your life is a comfort zone. It's a little bit of a warning here that it might not work this time with this particular situation. You do have the projection card, right? The reflection. What is it you're seeing? What is it you're projecting? I don't know. I have this feeling this is all you. The Scythe. Are you trying to cut away something, or should you be cutting away that part of you that relentlessly pushes? It works. Every time, it works many times, but not every time. And this, I think in this particular situation, a pause is necessary. Maybe a pause is necessary to show someone else something about you. Maybe a pause is necessary for you to discover something else. But there's something not happening here in February that should. And, listen, I have no qualms giving people readings like this, right? Because a smart person will listen to a reading like this and make proper changes. A person who's closed-minded will listen to a reading like this and turn it off midway and say, that's not my reading. Or this person doesn't know what they're talking about. I'm not stubborn. Well, maybe that's true. And if that is true, turn the reading off. But if you think this might be a little true, try to stay the course. Try to keep your mind open. Make 2025 the year that you're honest with yourself about your flaws. And yes, Taurus, you might have worked on so many things about yourself, and you might have created this beautiful person out of nothing. I mean, I know a lot of Taurus people who came from bad places and ended up in amazing situations, and it was sheer drive to be better, drive to be successful, right? And so they have worked on themselves, and some of them believe the work is finished. Some of them look at themselves and say, okay, I did all this. Now I deserve to coast. I think that there is one area in your life where you need to work on something if you want the golden ring. Just my opinion, okay? Now, let's look at, let's move on. We're going to move on to March here. So we have the harvest here. We have a potential harvest here in March. March could be a very good month for you. But you see, you have this detachment card. It's really weird energy, man. So, all right, you have this detachment card. Let's just leave that there and look at the tarot. You also have the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is, Sun and Scorpio. This Scorpio, I almost said Scorpio, right? This Taurus is the past coming back. We discussed this in your oracle cards. We did. This card is a chance at love from your past coming back. second chance at something. You know, some of you might look at this and say, I don't want the past to come back. I don't want a second chance with X, Y, and Z, or with anyone. And if that's the case, then don't take it. Then definitely move into this mode, right? Move into this mode. This card is here prompting you to become the cold and detached person that you can be. But if this is something you might be interested in, and you're not going to know, at least many of you won't know exactly what this is until it happens, right? You might be thinking it's one thing and it'll be something totally different. But if this is something you want, the harvest is here for the taking. This is an opportunity to gain something that you may have worked for, something that you just may have wished for. You may want to detach from old patterns. That could be it. You may want to detach from the situation. All I can tell you, Taurus, is you're going to have a chance at something in March. Whether you detach or not, obviously your choice. And only you know whether this is a good thing or not. For many of you, it looks like a good thing. It's a harvest ruin here, okay? But of course, this is your personal choice. Now, in April, let me see if I can... These cards drive me crazy when they're not straight. And they're never really going to be straight. You have the moon here in April, and the moon is Cancer energy. In the ruin world, okay, it's a little bit different from the tarot. It is transitory, right? It is feminine energy. This could be a woman. This could be you if you're feminine. This could be you slipping into that intuitive energy that we talked about, right? But I can tell you one thing: this ruin represents slow change. It's painfully slow, the progress, but it's long lasting. So it's worth it. Do you have the patience? I don't know. You know, because I have to tell you, you have wish fulfillment as a possibility here. You have the possibility of wish fulfillment. But damn it, every time I see like the harvest, wish fulfillment, I see something else that might be different. Like, you know, like last month we saw the Six of Cups, something coming around again, a harvest, something, a potential of you gaining something. But there's that detachment card, right? And here we have a wish being fulfilled, something long lasting. But we have the King of Pentacles here in reverse. And as we know, this is your card, Taurus, right? This is Sun in Taurus. But this is in reverse. This is the darker side of Taurus. This is possessiveness. This is control, right? This could be greed. Don't get mad at me, please. But this is the darker side of Taurus that might come out. What is it? It could be old patterns rearing its head. You have an opportunity. Now, are you slipping into old patterns? Maybe this is a nudge to stay aware. It's a nudge to stay aware because you have so much potential here. You just do. All right? Don't shoot the messenger, okay, Taurus, please. Now, looking at May, you have the receive and be open card. Be open-minded. Be open-minded to receive new information about yourself. Be open to receive new gifts, even if they're coming at a very slow rate that you don't like. Even if they're coming in a way that you're not used to, even if they're demanding things of you that, you know, are hard because you fell into certain habits and certain patterns and there's certain comfort zones. We all have them, right? Taurus is any fixed sign, right? And all my big four, all fixed signs. So any fixed sign it's going to be very hard to break out of certain patterns of thinking. It's just going to be hard. Not impossible. You're going to be rewarded for doing that, but it's harder for you, Taurus, or us, than it is for someone else. It just is. It's harder for us, okay? So in May, you have this receive, and you also have the waves. Waves. You are being carried. The waves usually come when we really don't have as much control as we want to. You seeing a pattern in this reading? You're being carried. You're not driving the car. I don't know how comfortable you are in that, but you have receive and be open, trust the process, and then you have the Seven of Pentacles coming in sideways. The Seven of Pentacles. Now the Seven of Pentacles, as you can see, Look at the card. What do you see on the card? Harvest. You don't have to be a tarot reader to know what this means, right? Another harvest, another shot at a harvest. But it's sideways. So are you going to choose harvest or impatience and missing that harvest? Are you going to be open to receive or not? Are you going to let something else take the wheel or not? Not a very comfortable spot for Taurus, I know. Now let's look at June. In June, you have the flight, right? And this is the spread of communication. Could be travel, could be literal like that. But generally speaking, it is the spread of information, the internet, a website, something like that, right? Phone. It could be phone. It could be the old-fashioned thing. You have here self-love, creation. Could there be something you're creating, right? Could it be a website? Could it be there's something that you are creating that's actually causing people to talk, or perhaps you're creating something in which that's a part of it. This looks like a creation of something. Definitely. The spread of information, social media, the internet, the spread of information, creation of this. You're creating something. You do have the Two of Pentacles here. The Two of Pentacles is in reverse. Now, the Two of Pentacles typically shows someone juggling two things. And when it's, right side up, and we look at that and we say, okay, this is someone who's juggling many things, right? In my opinion, because of these two oracles, the Two of Pentacles in reverse represents you focusing on one thing. You're not juggling anything anymore. You have intense focus. I think this is very goal-oriented. I don't think this is love-oriented. It does say intention, creation, self-love. But this is love for something you are creating. You're creating something with great intention. Spreading the word, or other people are spreading the word about it. It does look very, very positive here, Taurus. By the way, this is Saturn in Capricorn. And this is Venus and Taurus. I forgot to even say that. Venus and Taurus. Saturn and Capricorn. Creation. June looks like the month of creation. Okay, so moving on to July, you have a breakthrough. Epiphany, breakthrough. This could be anything. This could be something to do with your creation here, your goal, your job, your money. Or this could be the relationship in question that we talked about. We do have the Sun, Leo energy. Breakthrough. And we also have another sideways card. You have a lot of choices to make this year. This is Knight of Cups. This is Neptune in Pisces. What is it? What is it? This is some sort of an offer, isn't it? An offer that you are deciding upon. Is this positive, as illustrated by the Sun rune and the breakthrough card? If it's positive, why are you hesitating? Because the Sun rune is good news, happy news, positive, illumination on something, right? Seeing something very clearly. But yet you're hesitating. Why? Why are you hesitating? There is something you're hesitating about. There is something that you have to think about. Now, it's coming in sideways. It's a decision you're going to have to make. Apparently, all these different Taurus people are going to make different decisions on this. But I would really think about this in July. Really think about it, because it really does look positive here, Taurus. Now, in August, you have the crossroads energy. Crossroads. Now, if we look at the definition of what is a crossroads, it's a crucial decision that has far-reaching consequences. You are at a crossroads. Could this be the relationship? For some of you, it definitely is. Could this be this big thing that you have going on in your life that you're creating from the ground floor, perhaps from the ground? It looks like you're birthing it. Could it be that? You're at a crossroads with something, okay? You have seeds. Seeds that you have planted. Seeds that you have planted in hopes that in the spring it's fruitful. And you have judgment. Judgment in reverse. This is fixed. This is the fixed energy. Oh, no, actually, it's Pluto. Pluto's a big deal in this reading, isn't it? But anyway, you have judgment here, right? Yeah, you have judgment. Pluto energy. Crossroads energy. You may be critical about something here. You may be. This could be something, the thing from July. This could be the relationship. There's something you're being very, you're examining it with a microscope here. Maybe it's the pattern we talked about that you need to break, right? For others of you, it's a comfort zone, right? You may be more comfortable questioning intentions than accepting something for face value. You may be. I know I am sometimes, honestly. How many things are what they seem at face value? Listen, in my world, not many. I think you're being asked to have some faith. You're going to be in crossroads energy in August. Choose wisely here, Taurus. Now, if we look at September, you do have, September here. We do have the eye ruin. So this is something, oops, dropped it, sorry. This is something that you are seeing. The eye ruin is something that you're opening your eyes to. Man, you're not going to like me for this. You saw me flip out the cards. I didn't choose them. Okay. They chose you. Okay. You have. Let's put this here for a second and start with the tarot. You have the King of Wands here in reverse. King of Wands is Sun in Leo. The King of Wands in reverse can be forceful, domineering, maybe a lack of energy in a certain direction. The King of Wands in reverse can be someone who isn't faithful. Can be. Not all the time, but definitely someone who's stubborn. Someone who wants what they want type thing. Doesn't want to bend. Do you have the courage to change? Are you willing to look at your shadow side? Are you willing? Now, for some of you, this may be someone you're dealing with. This may be a relationship in your life. Do you have the courage to see that this person needs to change? This person needs to change. This person has a shadow side to them, and they need to change. And you may be seeing that. Some of you may be seeing your own shadow side, where you refuse to bend. You're acting very, very stubborn. What are you seeing? The eye ruin is here because you are seeing something. This is an important month. This is something that's important. This isn't, you have 2 oracle cards, and this isn't something that is light. This is something that has long-reaching tentacles. So choose wisely. You have listen, this year, from what I can see, if you make the right choices for yourself, can be life-altering. Can be life-altering. Or you can finish out the year and be stuck in the same patterns you've been in. With these sideways cards, you have a lot more control than you think, but part of being in control in this situation is stepping out of your comfort zone. Hard. Now here in October, you have the Divine Feminine card again. I mean, it's the ruin. It's woman. It could be about an actual woman in your life. You could be a woman. You could be stepping into your intuitive nature again, like we talked about. And look, this is this is divine timing, right? So you might have to trust. It's a trust card again. Something that you're going to have to trust. You have the Ace of Pentacles here in reverse. Earth energy. Just pure earth. Could be indicative of any earth sign here. But the Ace of Pentacles in reverse is hesitancy. What is this, Taurus? Is this a relationship, a business deal, a goal? It's important because your hesitancy or your forcefulness needs to be tempered. You need to do what you would not normally do, if that makes sense to you. Use your intuition. Trust in divine timing. Trust in divine timing. Trust in the divine push. Trust in the divine to help you sort this out. If you're the type of person that needs to get to do everything yourself and needs to take charge of everything yourself, I think that Spirit is asking you to let Spirit take the wheel. Okay, let's move on to November. You have here the Receive card again. Now, you do use a double deck, and you've received this twice. It's an important message for you, Taurus. You have to remain open to receive. If you want to receive, if you'd like to receive, whether the goal is an actual goal, or whether the goal is a person, a relationship, or any kind of long distance relationship or long-term relationship, whatever the thing is that you want to receive, you have to be open to new ways of going about it. Okay? You have, just like you had the female ruin here, you have the male one here. Confidence, assertiveness. You have the Queen of Swords in reverse. This is Uranus in Libra. Again, this is someone who can be overly critical, can be poor communication, scattered energy. This is yet another card that represents breaking free of a cycle or needing to. Now, for many of you, this may be someone you're dealing with, right? It may be someone who has scattered energy, poor communication. Someone who might be very assertive in their poor communication. Have you ever met someone like that? Right? They're very open, they're very forceful, but they talk a lot, but they don't say much. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's one of those people. But I really do think for many of you, this is yet a side of you that in order to receive what it is you want, you're going to have to break some patterns, some old patterns. You are. And here at the end of the line, you have forgiveness, apology. Now, could you be asking someone for their forgiveness? Yeah. Could someone be apologizing to you? Yeah. It could go either way, because here you have the romance ruin, right? This is a relationship, definitely a relationship. So someone's either going to come to you and apologize for something, or you're required to do that. You're required to wear your heart on your sleeve here and say you're sorry for some sort of behavior. You have the World here in reverse. Now, the World in reverse could mean many things. This is fixed energy. What did I say about that fixed, stubborn energy, right? Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. For some of you, it means you are a hair away from being successful in a romance. This close. This may also be a romance with roots into your past. We talked about this with the Six of Cups. Something that's coming around again, right? Not closing out a cycle with this person, keeping them in your life. One of you may not want to release the pattern that we talked about, and you're holding on to the pattern. I think it's one or two of you. But this is a relationship, and I do think that there's going to have to be a talk. Even if it's not an actual apology, it's going to be a very frank, open talk. Let me see if I could move some of these down. What we're going to do now is summarize the whole reading, because this was a lot of information, and I do think it really does help. It really does help if we summarize what we've just heard, okay? So going back to your oracles, the tiger, right? Remember that? The tiger is an animal, it might be your totem, or it might be something you have a serious connection to. We talked about the tiger's iron stone. Remember, it's not tiger's eye, it is tiger's iron. The tiger's iron stone is something that you may consider purchasing. Remember, I do not sell it. and do not buy it from any place that's questionable. My advice is to go to a local gem shop, and it's not going to be expensive. So, but just make sure it's real. Otherwise, you might as well be carrying glass around with you, right? You had both the mystical sister card and the smoke card. Remember those alchemy cards? And that's a possible reconnection, right? Clearing the air with someone. Excuse me. A possible reconnection. That seems to be a theme. You had Athena that came out as well, asking you to turn the page and on something. Now that something could be something within you, a pattern that you have to let go of. Could very well be. Okay. On your oracle page, you had both the Two of Cups and the Five of Cups, if you remember, right? And what was interesting is that you had the Two of Cups and then the Five of Cups, you know, in that picture, there is always somebody looking at these spilt cups, and then behind them, there are two filled cups. So in my opinion, behind means past, especially after seeing all these tarot cards. Honestly, I'm making that connection. This is something from your past. For sure, right? Turn around. It's time for you to turn around and see those cups behind you. There's two cups behind you. You will definitely have a glow up of some kind in 2025. If you look good now, you're going to look even better. By the end of the year, you're going to look even better. It has to be 2025 has the potential to be a very transition-like year for you on every level. Reflection came out, remember? I have to clear my voice. I'm so sorry. And that reflection card came out more than once in different decks. And it's to ask you what, and I keep saying it, what repeating patterns stop you from a happily ever after? The 2025 eclipse in March holds potential for you. And as the third quarter moons each month, just make sure to do that exercise I told you about. For you specifically, Taurus, it's really a good idea. January holds the Tower for you as a potential for sudden change or resisting sudden change. This resistance leaks into February and the need to cut something out with that scythe. In March, you have an option from the past coming back. There it is again, right? And a choice as to whether you take it or not. April will hand you a wish. If you take it, if you take care, all right, you have to take care not to fall into old habits, old patterns, old destructive crap, okay? There is a potential for wish, harvest, all kinds of stuff we talked about, but it's you that has to make the decision to do there's a certain work you have to do on yourself. There just is, okay? In May, once again, you have an opportunity to receive the harvest like we talked about, right? If you have a resistance, it's going to prevent it. June is a power goal month for you. If you have goals in mind, June is going to be the month where you really see some movement. Heavy laser focus you're going to have that month. July, you have good news coming in. And in August, you are at a serious crossroads energy. September, there's something you are seeing clearly, very clearly. And in October, you hesitate over something, but be mindful of being too overly critical over something. And in December, you could decide to finish some unfinished business with someone. You could decide to do that. You could decide to turn around and see those two cups. Or you could be very close to starting a brand new chapter, perhaps with someone from your past. I know many of you don't want to hear that. I get it. And I'm very, very sorry. But that is what I see, okay? Now, if we look at the bottom of the deck here, you do have the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is Jupiter in Capricorn, right? It is working as a team. Now, this, in my opinion, is something to do with work. It's something to do with that goal. You're going to be working with others. Maybe maybe you hire someone to do your social media for you. Could be very well. Could be well, because that is the card of, which one was it? This was the rune of social media. And so you working as a team, you might incorporate some help, right, with that. You do have the Seven of Cups here in reverse, right? And the Seven of Cups in reverse is Pluto, Scorpio energy again. And there is stuff that's going to become less and less confusing to you, whether that has to do with work or a relationship. My feeling, it's a relationship. You have the Eight of Swords in reverse. The Eight of Swords in reverse, breaking out of some sort of, perhaps, well, you have the opportunity here, okay? The Seven of Cups, the Eight of Swords is you breaking out of some sort of pattern or having the chance to. And here you do have the Empress, right? Oh wow, you have the Emperor too. Here it is. Here it is. Divine counterparts. Damn. Divine counterparts. Yeah, you have the ability to really do something with a relationship this year. But I have to tell you, it's going to be in your hands. It's going to be in your hands. I know that you want me to tell you it's just going to fall in your lap, but there's work you have to do. There are patterns you have to break if you want this in your life. Period. End of story. Sorry for anybody that's mad at me right now. Okay, so when it comes to numbers, right? When we add up all the numbers in this reading, we break it down. It breaks down to a number 10. 10 is Pluto. Life-changing energy, life-changing year, potential, tower potential in a good way. Don't waste it. Don't waste it. You don't want to wake up in 2026 in the same, I'm not saying it's going to be the same life, right? But with certain things lacking that you wanted for yourself this year. It looks like you're definitely getting something. I mean, as far as your goals go, definitely you're leveling up, all right? But I'm talking about in the romance sector, right? You have a chance to really capture something amazing here for yourself, Taurus. So you have, let's see, what else? Oh, the planets. The planets we talked about, believe it or not, the planet we spoke on the most is Pluto. Okay, so once again, I'm going to tell you, it is transitional, very, very transition. Kaboom. Moving on. Potential this year, right? Change. The signs we discussed here, pretty much all of them, but Libra, Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, Capricorn, Virgo, Cancer, Pisces, Aries. The ones we spoke about the most are Taurus. And you'll probably say, well, of course it was Taurus. No, it's not always that way, right? I'm talking about what came out in the cards specifically. So yes, Taurus came out the most, and so did Scorpio, which is the sign of associated with Pluto. Pluto is huge, huge, huge for you this year. So definitely take advantage of this energy. I have a feeling that you're going to be in an amazing place if you take my advice here, Taurus. I wish you the best new year. Namaste.